Welcome to the Age of the Ring channel. I'm Jarian, a voice actor and beta tester for the mod. To get you all hyped up for the epic release that will be 8.0, we are starting a new series we'll call Beta Casting. Join me in an action-packed peek behind the curtain as our devs and beta testers go head-to-head, testing balance and all new features of the upcoming release. Let's go! Hey everybody, welcome back once again. We've got another beta casting video for you guys. Probably gonna have to change that intro at some point because we're not really starting out anymore. But we've got another Harad feature here down in the bottom of Rivendell, one of our new 8.0 maps made by one of our beta testers, Bomber. And we've got up in the top, Rivendell. I'm excited to see this match. Rivendell has had a lot of changes, and even some of them have been pushed to the new 7.x versions, so you'll recognize some of the changes from that, but also still some new ones coming along, and hopefully we'll get to see those in this match. Rivendell is going for Triple Orchard into the I actually don't know what it's called, Breland Encampment. That's right, just call it the barracks usually. And in the bottom, let's see if we're sticking to our normal formula, and it does not appear that we are. So we are going to go Quadruple Bazaar. I'm pretty sure I've seen Joseph do this before. And on a big map like this, he might be able to kind of get away with a little bit of a greedier opening like this. We're going to see the outpost finally get slapped down here after the fourth bazaar has been built. You guys should definitely check out the map showcase video on this one. Aaron Vorn, I looked this up just before the match started because I was like, what is this? Meaning the Blackwood in Western Middle-earth, just south of the Shire. Gorgeous map. A second Breland encampment going down God damn it. Going down on the map for Rivendell here. And we're going to see some bounders bounding their way across. What I really like about this map is the unique terrain and how that can affect pathing and where different battles can take place. These bounders are going to go for the signal fire, get that vision, lower the cooldown on any powers. It looks like the Southern Sentry power has been used already to give Harad a little bit more vision. And for Rivendell, Tolodan Nangalad, we are taking the heal, but obviously have not had any need to use that yet. So a pretty slow start. I think the big map is causing both of these players to feel a little bit more secure, explore around a little bit. After the bounders take the signal fire, they're going to join up with another battalion and head down here, see what they can find. 2 Warlord Pikes have been summoned for Joseph here. I don't think I introduced the players. Bottom, Harad player, Joseph. Top, Rivendell player, Cassie King, otherwise known as SappieFlappie. Bounders coming in on this bazaar here. Gonna get flanked by 2 bowmen. They're gonna go all the way over here and set up a volley, but the sound effect on these bounders is very funny. Bop, bop, bop. Nice. Solid kill on the bazaar there. But the battalions of bounders are definitely going to be sacrificed here. If they can get a double kill on these bazaars, that would be crazy. Not great surround here from the Axemen on top of these bounders. Getting really low. It's actually going to be close. This Southern Sentry actually might make the difference with its spear thrower up top. Uh-oh.
All right, lads, put down your drinks. There's trouble.
Wow, okay, all right, so it's going to survive. I feel amped up. I'm sorry, guys. I had an energy drink just before starting this video, so I'm a little pumped. We got some Breland Townsguard coming after these.
We will protect the small folk of Arian.
Coming after this Ward Glare, but they're going to get intercepted eventually by these Axemen here. If they see him, I don't think they're going to be able to kill it and claim the reward quite yet. These Bounders. Kind of standing guard, not really put on attack mode quite yet, but going to be supported by these Breland Townsguard. Over here, They do actually kill the Warglair and the rebuildable rubble and claim one of the treasure chests here. Got attacks on two fronts. The Breland Townsguard going to be forced to retreat, not going to be able to protect this orchard just quite yet, but are distracting the melee tribal units, so saving its life for now. We've got, I was like, did they get a hero already? But that's just the Dunedain banner carrier. Another Dunedain banner carrier going down here. Archers marking this orchard for death. These spears are going to be able to hop on it eventually. Bounders in Harad's base, but not given an attack command, so just kind of axe fodder at this point. Southern sentries creeping in. I like that. There's a wide vision radius on these, and might be able to actually, yeah, they get vision of this entire choke point, which is pretty neat. Some tribal axemen going to, they're in perfect position to take down these bounders with archer support. Tookish archers being forced back by some fights here. Ooh, this is kind of sneaky. We've got some Dunedain Rangers doing what they do best in the trees, in a lore-accurate location as well. Maybe a bit further south for them, but that's pretty neat. I'm sure, I don't even know if Harad can even see this. Very cool. This orchard is going to be fine. We've got 2 battalions of Dunedain Outriders out now. That's going to be a big game. That kind of changes the state of the game for sure. A Great Scorpion. Yeah, Great Scorpion is out for Harad. Coming up with a couple of axemen. If they were to move forward just a little bit more, they would catch this this poor orchard. But it's going to survive for now. Brondor Raiders capturing the signal fire. And Dunedain Outriders taking down the Southern Sentry. And now we're kind of a bit at an impasse here. Harad is retreating after taking the signal fire here, deciding it's time to build up. 400 max CP isn't too much, but if they're not in danger, might as well try and build up. I think Rivendell is a solid 100 points CP ahead at this point. The Dunedain Outriders, I think they cost 100 CP now. No, just 70. Some of the higher level cav got boosted to 100 CP cost. We've got the Harandor Raiders being chased away by the Dunedain Outriders, and some axemen in a very, very poor position. Gonna get trampled. And the Harandor, I don't know if maybe he didn't see. I remember seeing them earlier. But the Breland Townsguard were just behind the tree here, so the Harandor Raider is going to lose quite a few units at that point. Dry Spell going down. We've seen Dry Spell in the last Betacast video reduces the resource gain from it. You can only drop it down where you have vision, so it's harder to kind of get it on maybe more lucrative targets, but nonetheless. Rivendell going to focus down this Southern Sentry, while the Harandor Spearmen are going to get on top of these Outriders. I don't think a battalion is going to die. It looks like one battalion, yeah, gets away with like 2 horses, and the rest of the tribals are going to fight these Breland Townsguard. These Breland Townsguard shouldn't win this fight with the Harandor Spearmen here. But they are going to get healed. They are going to get healed, and the Dunedain Outriders here to try and distract. Dunedain Outriders here poised for a flank at whatever moment Sappie deems necessary. Many meetings. Many meetings is being cast. We've got the Great Scorpion chewing through that orchard. But many meetings, I wonder if this made it into the 7.3 changes, or maybe even 7.2. But many meetings for Rivendell has changed to always give a swords unit, a spear unit, and an archer unit, which is kind of cool. It's randomized within those that organization. But either way, we've got some Sindar Pathstalkers, some Tawar Nathirad. These are Erebor pikes. You know, I never can... Lake Town. Okay, so these are the Lake Town ones. I can never tell which ones are which. And if I can get... yeah, the Halathirians here. So Harad spending some time fighting these temporary units. And fighting off some Dunedain Outriders here. Hopefully I wasn't missing anything super important on this side of the map. But against these temporary units, sometimes it's best to just to retreat. I don't believe the summoned units grant any power points for killing them, so you're pretty much losing any trade that you're forced to fight with those. if I'm correct here. Very interesting PowerPoint setup for Harad at this point. We've got the Southern Sentry, Dry Spell, and the Horn of the Serpent Lord. All of the Tier 1 abilities have been purchased for Harad. And while maintaining control of this Signal Fire, that's a lot of powers that can be used kind of all the time, which is kind of an interesting strategy. Most people would go higher up the tree. What we see here, it looks like a carrion feeder was shot down by the many battalions of Dunedain that we see. Do we have? I forgot to mention the library going up before. We're getting the Laurathalion at the orchards upgraded, about to hit just now. But we just have the one Dunedain encampment, so stacking up this many Dunedain is pretty strong here for Rivendell. Breland Townsguard going to get absolutely surrounded by a Harad army here, but their death is not in vain. Sappy knows where this army is and is positioning quite a few Dunedains in the trees here to get that stealth and just chewing through this army. It's a total death trap to be walking this way. Really using the map and the terrain to his advantage. I didn't even notice Halbarad here. Maybe that's why there's so many Dunedain. Actually, I don't think... No, he's not at the level where that would be that helpful yet. Tolodana Galad being thrown to heal the Dunedain. It looks like the Harandor Raiders might have got a pretty decent trample, actually, on some of these Dunedain. Harad's starting to kind of overpower this, while the Dunedain Outriders kind of come in from behind the flank. Really hard to see what's going on. The Blackwood indeed. Looks like not really a favorable trade for either faction here, but the Dunedain Outriders are going to kind of escape and see if they can get maybe some cheeky damage on a Bazaar while forcing the rest of Harad to retreat and reorganize up in the top here. Halbarad still here. I did see Farmer Maggot in the mix. Whoa! That is some crazy carrion feeder damage on this high tier cav. That is good damage. That's really good damage. The debuff, of course, lowering their armor and movement speed, so making it easier to chase them down. The spear thrower, I don't think the spear thrower is going to have enough damage to take down the carrion feeder, but it was a good attempt. Baruthiel sprinting across the map, right into the Forest of Death. She is level 6 now. I am not quite sure what her plan is. She has a cat kind of for this purpose, but I think... Is she going to make it? She is going to make it. Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of a misclick there. But good enough reaction time to get her out just in time. I'd like to see the cat's ability kind of sneak in, maybe find some of these... See, the thing is, he's not really getting any of the squishy units at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure you would be able to get crazy value from the cat with the bounders, with the AoE attack from the cat. But at this point, Dunedain, Breland Townsguard even are pretty tanky, so going to be a bit more difficult. Ooh, well-timed horn here. Going to be able to catch this battalion of Dunedain Outriders, I assume. Yes. And even this other battalion kind of running right into these Harandor Spearmen. Pretty decent positioning. There's not quite the death ball of Dunedain inside the forest, so a pretty solid offensive here by Joseph. Harandor Raiders distracting some more... these are actually some more summoned many meetings Spearmen. Sindar Pathstalkers again were summoned. But Fourth Men of Darkness was also cast in order to counter the summon here. Kind of the summon here. Halbarad is speeding up the Dunedain recruitment. Really good use of that power here. Trying to keep up the power points. But between the Laurathalion and the many meetings summons, gonna be able to render this attack a little impotent. We'll see if this well, between the Great Scorpion and the Fourth Men of Darkness, guys, this Breland encampment might fall. It is only level 1, so not too much HP. Yeah, the Great Scorpion just does tremendous damage to buildings. But he's going to get surrounded by some Breland Townsguard and shot down by some Dunedain. Earlier on, I don't know if this was ever caught in a beta casting video, but earlier on when we were testing Harad, the Southern Sentry, the Spear Thrower could actually, if you tried to build a building near it, like a farm or something, when it was at 0% for those, like that second and a half or so, the Southern Sentry could actually kill it. So I'm glad we've changed that at this point, that you can actually build something in your own base. This looks to be, yeah, this is going to be Baruthiel's summoned Wardens of Umbar that are going to fall. We actually are going to see some Makari, the Sword Elves of Rivendell, hitting the map currently. Some Dunedain Outriders getting caught, but I think they're going to be able to escape in time. They might get chased down by this Carrion Feeder, though. Nope, deciding the chase is not worth it. We're going to hear Fatty Bulger coming on out. Only level 1. Let me just take a look and see the tech. I shouldn't be as surprised to see elves if I was paying attention to the bases. So we've just got a level 1 pavilion, a level 2 and a level 1 outpost. Pretty standard stuff. We're not seeing any Mahood. We're not seeing any cultists or Umbarian units. We're pretty much sticking to the standard tribals with some more monsters like we saw in the last video. And for Rivendell, yeah, the dormitory just went down. It's only level 1. The Makari getting on top of these tribal units, but the Harandor Raiders are not going to be able to do as much damage to these guys as they want. The Song of Finwë granting the Makari some more damage, and the Blessing of Ulmo hitting the map right now to really give the defenders advantage to Rivendell. Albarad now level 5. Kind of a pretty back and forth game to try and take the middle. Harad seems to have more territory, but is really having trouble sieging down Rivendell's position. Rivendell just kind of having the superior units. The Dunedain Rangers are just excellent archers, utilizing the trees, utilizing the Laurthalion to defend, with siege attempts at, it seems to hover close to like 300 to 500 CP, so not quite ever enough of a killing blow against Rivendell here. But getting the spearmen kind of mixed up with the Makari here is really going to mess up Harad's attack. Baruthiel is going to retreat, having used both of her abilities. The cat was also used. I must have missed that. But these buffed Dunedain, along with the really tanky Makari elves, haven't even lost a single unit yet. Are doing a stellar defense here. Stumbling all over my words, thinking too fast. Harad has maintained this signal fire for quite some time. And even though they have more territory, the higher level resource production buildings are granting a much higher max CP for Rivendell. Who do we got running over here? Run, Fatty, run. Is that what it's called? Yeah, run, Fatty, run to the signal fire. We've got a 4th Men of Darkness summon. Going to try and take down this level 1 Orchard. You might be able to get this. In the end, though, it's 300 resources for a tier 2 summon. I think I would have liked that move more if something else was happening on the map to keep him busy. But it does keep Sappy's army up north and not on Joseph's stuff, so I don't mind it. We've got level 10 Baruthiel chasing away Fatty here. Very interesting interaction between two kind of non-combat heroes. And the signal fire is going to be recaptured. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing any comp changes, but it really does just appear to be some high-level... This is also kind of rude here. We've got the statue of Gil-galad hidden in the trees. I wonder how long that's been there. Jeez. And a well, too. The Well of Celebrion. Buffing these units like crazy. Yeah, this carrion feeder is going to get absolutely knocked out of the sky. There's too many Dunedain around, and the Makari going to take down the southern sentry. Joseph has been making really good use of these powers, and especially maintaining control of the signifier. Those sentries have just been a real nuisance this entire time. The bazaar, there was a bazaar here, so the Dunedain Outriders were able to take that down, even though the sentry and the tribal encampment was just placed. So able to get even more damage there. We're at 550 current army size to 700 max. 950 max for Rivendell. Pretty even in terms of current resources. But we are seeing another attack from Harad here. Getting a decent trample to open up. We've got the Queen Gar, the Elven Archers. So we're really moving into kind of the tier 3 phase of the game, which is pretty awesome. Bruthiel coming in to summon her Umbarian Wardens. The dry spell affecting this here. But all of the buffs from Rivendell and just the superiority of these units is going to be too much for Harad to handle. It's still too much of a tribal army. But now the Black Numenorian Vanguard is coming in a bit too late, I'm afraid. And is only going to be able to get some damage on these temporary units once again. So kind of feeding more power points over to Rivendell here. Not quite the engagement Joseph wants. Yet we've got some temporary spearmen must come from another. I wonder if it's the same one from this tribal encampment here. Yeah, Black Numenorians fallen, and we're going to start pushing Rivendell's territory forward even more. I heard Elrond's voice. We do see, here's Círdan. So, we do see Círdan. Ooh. And there's Elrond as well. Lovely. There's the new Elrond model. I don't know if the new model is in 7.3, but he looks absolutely fantastic. So Círdan is a new addition to 8.0 for Rivendell. He's got a series of powers. It comes through a series of, you've got to get like the Fortress upgrade, and then the White Council Observatory as well. Let me just make sure nothing crazy is going down in this fight. Some Makari elves going up against the Black Numenorians. I remember testing those pretty extensively. I think the Makari elves have the slight upper hand to the Black Numenorian units if the elves use their damage ability. This battalion of Dunedain is going to survive. It's going to be a lot of free units back for Sappy if he's able to get that to a well. Using Dry Spell, but going to be able to kill the Orchard anyway, so... I don't think Dry Spell gives any kind of unit buff. Nope. Alright, 4th Men of Darkness up again. But they're... Oh, man. He is going to be able to kill some Dunedain Outriders that charged right in. It's going to be some pretty good value. I was worried at first because the spearmen running right into the sword elves were not going to have a good time. But they were able to bait an entire battalion of Dunedain Outriders right into them and get that kill. But we're having a hard time getting into the back line of these archers to stop them, and the tankiness of these elves. And now with Elrond's buff, 33% damage in armor, double experience. Baruthiel fell. I don't know where she was, but it sounded like she tried to use her cat as well. You can also see the ring of... Oh gosh, I'm such a tourist. What is the ring here that Círdan uses? No, it's just called No Way. That's his, I believe his first name, Círdan's first name when he awoke. But he can give a hero a permanent armor buff. It's on a small cooldown, but eventually, if the game lasts long enough, you'd be able to give this buff to all of your Rivendell heroes.
We are of the king's men.
Really good position here for Rivendell. I really think that Harad has been trying to be aggressive and push into Rivendell, but has not been able to get any lasting damage done, and instead is taking too much damage in terms of economy. Not able to get up to that max CP. not able to save up for what would be more of a late game army to come in and actually siege down Rivendell. And now the giant eagle being summoned from the fortress must have made its way all the way down to this side of the map and wreaking havoc. Some carrion feeders might be trying to trade with it, but it doesn't look to be like there's any elite archers. We're using the temporary tribal building to summon some tribal bowmen, and Flood is being cast, taking down, I know this one was the level 2 at least, level 2 outpost, also taking down the Pavilion of the Golden King, using the vision from the eagle. So just some really, really intense late game Rivendell play here. God, Elrond is so cool now. He was always cool, but like this model and these effects are really, really sick. He's using his Herald of Gil-galad ability here to gain 50% damage and knockback. And all of a sudden, here we are in the Deathstroke from Rivendell. At 150 command points, I don't think Harad's going to be able to come back from this one. Yep, we've got many meetings being summoned. Look at him go, just chilling. His other powers, we didn't really get a chance to see him, but he's got a rebuild power. He can buff wells to actually heal more than they normally would and have a larger heal radius, as well as Call of Belegaer, causing the unit production of elves to be increased. So maybe he was using that and we didn't notice. But he's at a full max army, 1020 command points. We see the veterans of the Last Alliance here, the Laurathelin, joining everything. The cat is going to try and get some AoE damage done, but these units are just too tanky, too powerful. Level 5 Makari with the Song of Fiendway activated. A crazy, crazy siege from Rivendell. This was a fun match. I really like... I think this map is really, really interesting. We were kind of running it down this middle lane for most of it, but there was some action on this kind of wider playing field to try and get these resource structures. And now we see Rivendell absolutely destroying this fortress. Was that the same eagle from... Oh my gosh. The cooldown on this eagle might be a little low. It's like almost ready to be summoned again. And that other one just disappeared. All right, well, maybe we'll have to take a look at that. That's what beta testing's for, I suppose.
Misled.
Elrond taking down Baruthiel, using the Ring of Air to grant armor to all of his allies. And that should be game. Something cheeky must still be alive, but I'm going to fast forward here. There we go. GG. Man, okay, really cool to see late game Rivendell on a beautiful 8.0 map. We got to see, it was cool to see Baruthiel too, especially with the cat changes. I haven't seen Baruthiel in at least some of the matches that I've played or seen. So good to see her hitting the map, and just some kind of action-packed stuff in the middle there with trying to kind of wrestle for that signal fire, wrestle for that kind of forest control. But the defensive power of Rivendell with the Laura Thalion and the Dunedain Rangers in the forest with the statue of Gil-galad and the well and all that stuff proved to be too much for Harad to siege down with its current tech level at that point. So awesome game. Hope you guys really enjoyed. I like keeping up the steam on these beta castings, so I hope to have more content for you guys coming up soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye.